I didn't see this match, but I want to watch it. Stupendous versus Daigo. It seems like it's pretty quick, 7 minutes. And the match hasn't started like 2 minutes in. I feel like this is a weird matchup. Daigo plays this matchup so strangely. Brian F says, don't watch this. Is it bad? Is it him just beating up Stupendous? Daigo playing on non-hitbox. I loved on a commentary. I saw Daigo miss something. It was like stand light kick, flash kick, and I was like, if he was on hitbox, he would have hit that shit. I don't know. The thing about Rog versus Guile is that the way Daigo plays it is so weird. I always like watching it just because it's like, I don't know. He just plays his matchup in a really strange way. He does like lots of like forward heavy kick, upside down kick. Yeah, he does that a shit ton. I think right there he probably was looking for that crouching medium kick. He does a shit ton of forward heavy kick. Yeah, he dashes a lot in this matchup. He does like a ton of forward fears and back fears. I think just looking for crushes on startup of dash punch, and also like looking for upside down kick is probably to beat low jab or low medium punch. Yeah, I see how he just beat the low medium punch and crouching medium kick. He plays his matchup so weird. I mean, you can't just sit back and throw booms, to be fair, but it's just like such an unorthodox style. That's just Daigo to me, he says. He does play in a very weird method against a lot of characters, I feel like. His playstyle is... He throws less booms than you'd expect. What the fuck? I guess he tried a reaction. If he was on hitbox, he would have been fast enough. Crush counter sweep, jump out of the corner. Man, Daigo has plot armor because... Nice. Because he always... People are always scared he's going to flash kick. He just... like always has respect on his wake up jab. Also, he does immediate wake up throw so much because he knows people are gonna walk back. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about SOCDs on my stream and like how they work, but yeah, maybe I'll talk about that later. Back throwing him to the corner is good. Man, it must feel good to 99-second jump against Daigo and beat a boom. Yeah, lots of standing fears from Stupendous. The Snapdragon Suplex? Is that the name of that? Wrestling is for nerds, so I don't really know. Walk back boom. Sometimes Guile players will do, like after standing heavy kick, will do stand light kick buffers. Because it puts you pretty far back. Nice flash kick confirmed. Raw flash kick is like pretty far, and instead of just going for the sweep, did he have V-trigger before that sweep? Or am I crazy? Oh, he does. Yeah, he's gonna sweep V-trigger no matter what. Upside down kick, sweep. Yeah, the thing is that if you're Stupendous, you don't have the best options in this matchup, or against somebody like Daigo, because, nice sweep, because you have Geef and you have Balrog, and Guile is not that common of a character at a super high level these days, I feel like. There's not as many Guile players, a lot of them have switched. Damn, that looked like he was going to anti-air, and then he just did a boom. I like crouching medium kick, walk back boom. That range right there. Then Stupendous looked for the fierce. I think probably expecting a boom to crush counter it. Man, Daigo dashes so much in this matchup. It's so weird. Stu still plays Geef. It just depends on the matchup. In a matchup like this, I think you'd rather have the anti-fireball options and mobility of Balrog. He has a lot of gauge here, which means he kills in probably one clean hit. Like, you don't want to get hit by back heavy punch crush counter. And I feel like Daigo is so good at whiffing into that. He just always does damn nice. Yeah, in this matchup, the problem with going for V-skill is that Balrog has fast forward advancing anti-fireball option. And like if you're in a good range, you can walk up and sweep. That was a great buffer from Stu. And that was a solid throw bait idea. Damn. V-skill was a little early there. Yeah, we can talk a little bit about the hitbox finagling after this match. Since Daigo came up, he is now the hitbox overlord. Delay, that sucks. He didn't really do immediate, and I think it was maybe expecting critical art or something. Yeah, delay. Stupendous tried crouching medium kick. Yeah, he was probably just looking for first situation tech from Daigo, which I guess you don't see that often, but it was like his first time getting in, so if he goes for throw and he loses pressure, I could see why he's thinking like, damn, I should try to throw bait. On this week's RSF podcast, Hitbox Sora explains the same thing. You're talking about the SOCD thing? Yeah, there's a lot of talk about hitboxes and stuff since Daigo started playing on ye olde and hitbox. And he had, in Japan, I guess the hitbox they're playing on has the old SOCD method, which is if you hit back and then you hit forward, you don't get neutral. Generally, on most hitboxes, if you hit back and forward at the same time, you get neutral input. That's how most are now. But that hitbox, if you hit back and then you hit forward, it defaults to second input. I thought it defaulted to forward. Well, either way, if it defaults to the second input, whatever it is, the example that he was using that made people realize that was that he was holding back and then he would tap forward and do boom. And then let go. So he can just hold on to back the whole time. So that way, like when you're charging, storing charge, you can like store charge at the fastest possible timing, essentially. It also makes stuff like super inputs for charge character, which are hold back, forward, really easy. You know, because you're just holding back and then you just go forward like twice. And it's like super simple to do on a hitbox. Which is fine. Like, I actually don't think that it's a huge deal that's like, oh, we should ban the Gaffro box because it input stuff like this. The reason that there was issues before, and a lot of people bring up Marvel about the SOCD stuff, which is simultaneous opposite cardinal directions or left and right at the same time. In Marvel, there was an issue with the game that if you held left and right at the same time, you would block both directions. That was like an issue in the game, and then they fixed that later on. But in most games, holding left and right like that won't do that. So it's not like an issue. The thing about hitbox in general is there are other input commands that can do similar things to hitbox in terms of pad or keyboard or other things like that, right? It just doesn't have a lot of travel time, and the issue of the left and right at the same time comes up a decent amount. But the thing that about hitboxes to me is that I actually feel like it depends on what game you play, what kind of hitbox you'd want. Tekken, for instance, the kind of hitbox that when you hit left and right at the same time goes to neutral, I think is much better. Actually, for a lot of commands, because there's a lot of neutral requirements in Tekken inputs, like electrics, or if you're like Korean backdashing, there's shortcuts you can use by hitting left and right at the same time, or there's like a lot of stuff like that where hitting neutral is really good. And in Tekken in particular, I think that standard style of hitbox is very, very powerful in like inputting certain commands like wave dashing or Korean backdashing or electrics. And this kind of hitbox that Daigo's using is probably a little bit better for charge characters in Street Fighter. Yeah, the Gaffro box also has like 9 extra fucking buttons that are also different directions so that hitting them all at the same time with your fingers are easier. I've never played on a hitbox like that. I've only ever played on a standard hitbox. I think that there's also like he has like a triple punch, a triple kick, like multiple lefts and rights on different sides so that depending on where your hands are, you can hit left or right. And then up and downs as well. So, you know, I've never messed around with anything like that. But to me, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I'm really surprised it got banned, to be honest with you.